Today you're going to take your planning that you did yesterday and put it into a rough copy. So I'll look up at this in a moment. The sheet you're looking at today, there's a bit of writing. It says, yesterday you chose an object and described it for me. Today we're going to use your describing words to write in a full sentence. Have a look at the example below. So it says, colour of my object, blue. So my sentence can be, my object is coloured blue. You can even add extra words in there, like you might write, my object is coloured light blue. So here, underneath, it says, write out your detailed sentences on each of the lines below from your plan. So number 1 was the name, and you had that up there. Number 2 was how many. Okay, you've got that on your plan as well. Number 3, you're going to write me a sentence about the colour. Remember to look at your plan for what you had yesterday. Number 4 is the texture, or how it feels. And I said my ball felt rough. What size? So the next line will be what size your object is. I said mine was big and large. And the last sentence on your plan was action. What was the thing that you could do? So I wrote down dodgeball. And there's one extra line which I'll talk about at the end. Okay, it says on the last line. All right, so I'm going to have a go now at doing my describing from my words up here into a sentence. So my first sentence is going to be, what is my object? Okay, I have a ball. Now, that is the same as saying one. So that's kind of the first one that I've done as well. Okay, I've said it's a ball and there's one colour. Okay, my ball is dark red. Now, I'm not making that up, year one. I'm going back and I'm having a look at my plan. So I'm using the words there. I'm just putting it into a sentence. Okay, the next one I need to do is, how does it feel? And I said rough. So on the third line down, I'm going to write, it feels rough. Now, I'd like to write a little bit more, so that's okay. Miss O'Dempsey said up there I could write some more. So I'm going to write and scratchy. So it doesn't matter if it isn't on your plan. You're allowed to go back in and add extra words or detail like we've been doing in our work when we were in our classrooms. The next one up there says size. Now, from my planning, I had big and large, so I'm going to put that into a sentence. The size of my ball is large. So I'm using the word large, but I'm going to add another word, and that's okay. I didn't use the word big. Look what I did instead. I wrote, the size of my ball is large and round. That's okay. I'm still looking at this as a guide, but I can add more if I like. Okay, the next thing it says is, what do I do with it? Up there on my plan it said dodgeball, so I'm going to write, I play dodgeball with it. Now, why I've written the word it is we know what we're talking about. We're talking about my ball. Now, I think I know why I've got an extra line. It's because I could have put the title up there, so you could probably do that better than me. But the next one on here says, what do you do with your object? Done. And then it says, on the last line, write down a sentence describing how you feel inside when you play with your object. So I'm going to write, this ball is one of, don't worry too much about spelling when you're doing your rough copies, of my favourite things. Alana's, she's a bit hurt herself, to play with. So the last sentence is something that you would really like to share with the reader about your object. So I've got how many, the colour, what texture it is, how big it is or small, the action, and then what I can do with it. And that is going to be my description. And I'll show you again what we'll do with it next. The next lesson, you're going to have a go at typing it up.